God sent yet another plague down on the poor Egyptians, and this was a plague of hail. There was a violent storm that broke out, and hail fell from the sky, and lightning and thunder. And it destroyed all the Egyptians' crops, and they were starving. And so Moses went before Pharaoh, and he said,
"Now that I have brought the hail, now my people give."
And Pharaoh replied,
No.
Pharaoh sounds a little unsure. I think maybe these plagues are working. So God sent yet another plague, and this was a terrible plague of locusts, that any crops that were left over from the first plagues were all eaten up.
It's a locust. Use your imagination.
Locust.
Careful.
Good catch.
I'm a locust.
And now,
I eat all the crops.
Pharaoh went once more before Moses went once more before Pharaoh and said,
Now that I have brought the locusts to eat all your crops, will you let my people go?
And Pharaoh said, No! Pharaoh sounds more convinced this time. I don't know. So God sent yet another plague. And this was a terrible plague in which darkness fell across the land. All of Egypt fell into darkness.
I'm holding them up to the camera, so the camera can't see.
And Moses went before Pharaoh and said,
Now that I have brought the darkness, will you let my people go?
But Pharaoh was still hardened in his heart, and he said,
More darkness.
So now God said, Moses, you go before Pharaoh, and you say, I'm going to bring one last terrible plague. And if you do not let my people go this time, all the firstborn children of Egypt will die. Pharaoh, will you let my people go this time?
Yes.
No, you're supposed to say that.
Game over.
So Pharaoh, since he said no, the plague came down, and all the firstborn Egyptian children were smitten down. And they
Smoke. Mighted. Smoke. Alana, go back.
Here, take another one. Here's another firstborn.
We got another firstborn.
That's Little Red Riding Hood.
She was the firstborn Riding Hood in her family.
What did she say? Her firstborn is dead. What did she say? What did she say? Such a terrible wailing there was. So Moses went again before Pharaoh, and Moses said,
What did Moses say?
Now that I have killed the firstborn, will you let my people go?
and this time Pharaoh said,
Yes.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right, and so the Egyptians packed up and left, but they thought, since
The
Pharaoh
Jews.
kept, the Jewish people thought, well, since Pharaoh has changed his mind so many times and he's not let us go, we need to pack up quickly, right? And so they only had 18 minutes, and they packed up everything, and in that time they decided to bake matzah so they would have some food when they left. And that is why we have the bread of affliction, the matzah, because the Jewish people did not have time to bake the bread and let it rise properly, so they baked matzah instead. And they left and they escaped. And that is the story of how the Jews escaped from under the affliction of Pharaoh. So let's have a big hand over here. Come back over here, Boo. And everybody come, let's have a big hand for our plague players. This is Alana. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Alana.
Michael.
And who are you?
Nina.
And Nina on the floor. I know that Pharaoh and Moses were not visible through most of the production, but there it is.